Welcome into Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast brought to you by Encova Insurance. I'm your host, Amanda Mazey, with JJ Wetherholt and David. All right, let's just say your name. How do you say it? We hear it so many different ways. Let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth, David.
Hagaman.
There you go. I know you as Hags, so that's what I'm going to call you. First of all, JJ Hags, how excited are you guys to finally get this season started next weekend at Stetson?
Yeah, we're super excited. The whole team's been working really hard, so we're excited to kick it off. We've been playing really well, and just want to see how we stack up against other competition.
Hags, what do you think? This is going to be your second year.
I'm pretty excited. I think we have a young team with a lot of talent, so I'm excited to get down in some warm weather.
Yeah, although the weather has been pretty decent.
It's been pretty nice.
It hasn't been as bad as it could be, that's for sure. You guys have been practicing out here. Let's talk about this brand new turf. If people have driven by, they've seen the new state outline, this new turf. How does that play differently when you guys are practicing? Because that old turf, obviously, a lot different surface. Yeah. But, what's that like practicing on that?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's a little bit slower. I think that's kind of just because the lifespan of the turf that we had previously was like overdue, so we needed to replace it. So that turf was really hard and fast, which kind of sometimes will play to our advantage because teams weren't used to it. So this one's a little bit slower. I mean, it's easier on our legs, so I think it feels better when we're doing, wind sprints and stuff that Coach Kelly likes to put us through. But, yeah, it's a little bit of an adjustment, and we've been trying to get to that just by taking a bunch of ground balls, outfitters getting reads and stuff like that. And then for the pitchers, I'll let him talk about it, but there's a turf mound now.
Yeah. How different is that going to be?
At first, I'm not a huge fan of turf mounds, but after throwing on it, I've never had any issues with it, and I do actually prefer it now. When things go sideways with weather here, it'll definitely be a lot easier to keep a game going. And as far as how it plays, I'm a pitcher, so it doesn't really matter to me, but it looks nice. So.
Yeah, there you go, exactly. When you're at this point of the season and you're so close to starting, how excited are you to get to play other teams? I'm sure you guys are tired of playing each other, but then is there a sense of, well, are we ready yet? Or are you guys always ready to start playing?
Yeah, I mean, I think we feel like we're always ready to start playing. You don't really know until it happens. But we've been taking every scrimmage, honestly, like we're playing another team. So it gets super competitive, just trying to get us ready for when it is another team. And hopefully, when the team on the other side's wearing different colors and it's a real game, things don't get moving too fast, and we're able to kind of just play it like it was a scrimmage at our own field and just move slow and play a good game.
Yeah, I would say the inter squads kind of help a lot, putting us in real game situations. Just going through practice, like real game stuff. And I'm excited to play. I think everyone's pretty anxious to get going. So just ready to go down there.
All right, let's talk you guys, your personal playing. Hags, I'm going to start with you. You're coming off a great freshman campaign, All-American. You really came out and proved your worth as a freshman. Talk about this follow-up sophomore year. What are you expecting out of yourself, and what do you want to see out of yourself?
I feel like the expectations are a lot higher. I feel like my freshman year, I was kind of just going out there trying to survive, trying to pitch as much as possible. But now I feel like there's a standard for myself. And, going into the season being as a closer and everything, I feel like that role is very important with Carlson Reed last year. So I'm ready to kind of fill his shoes.
All right. Speaking of expectations, JJ, as we sit here in the team theater, there's your mug over there on the wall. Big 12 Player of the Year last year. So much hype surrounding you. Preseason All-American. You were an All-American last year. All these accolades, MLB draft projections, all that kind of stuff. How do you stay focused? Because there is a lot of JJ hype right now.
No, there is. I think fortunately enough for me, like I have a really good group of guys around me and the coaching staff as well who I can kind of outlet and outsource to and talk about it with them. Especially with, guys like Manoa who would come through here and dealt with the same things that I'm dealing with. He even reached out to me, and so he kind of told me, like, if anything ever gets too big, just text me and I'll try to help you through it. Obviously, Coach Mays, he's put players through that before, so he kind of knows the whole deal, which was the big thing about our entry meeting this year was, like, this year's all going to be about how do you handle the hype, how do you handle this? And so we've been finding ways to do so. I think the biggest one is just trying to honestly stay off of it and not like read the stuff as much as I did last year. I think last year, all the articles that came out, like it was new to me. I was kind of blown up and I was feeling so good about myself, like reading through all of it. And then, sometimes it's not how you don't want to handle it. You don't want to be digesting too much of it and just like, oh, this guy said this on Twitter and this guy said this. So, so far this year, it's been kind of just limiting my social space and just trying to be locked in, surrounding myself with guys who are supportive of me, and just knowing that, I can trust my work ethic and my preparation.
Absolutely. I know your faith is so important too. And with, with social media, you can't read into it when they love you,
Right.
and you can't read into
Right.
it when they're not, liking you so much. Big 12 champs last year. You guys were the reigning Big 12 champs. What are those expectations you think for this team as far as what other teams think of you? Because I'm not sure many teams put a lot of stock into West Virginia winning the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for at least my 3 years here, we've kind of always been the underdogs. Nobody really ever expected us. And since I've been here, we've gotten better each year. So I feel like that's something that's going to happen this year, and that's kind of the expectation, to be better than we were last year. And I mean, that's what we're all shooting for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like Hag said, like we kind of flew under the radar the past couple of years, and I think this year, we still, I feel like, don't get the respect that we deserve, but I think teams in conference are a little bit more paying attention to us. Like, okay, they have some solid returners. They got some good transfer guys. They obviously have a great coaching staff, and they've been getting better. So I think teams in conference are probably paying a little bit more closer attention to us, which is cool for us. And they'll be scouting us hard and really trying to prepare for us, and hopefully we can bring it to them.
Different look, Big 12, some new teams coming in, some teams going out. Is that kind of exciting to play some teams that typically we haven't played in the Big 12 before?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty exciting to just go and see new places. I played with a couple people in summer ball from Cincinnati and stuff like that. And I mean, just being able to go to new places each year and see different schools, I think it's pretty fun. And just like building the conference, making more teams so that way the season goes longer and stuff like that. We start playing conference play a little bit earlier, so I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what he said. I love traveling, and so I think traveling to new places, new states, and new colleges would be super cool and a great experience for us.
JJ, you're known as the man from Mars. You're from Mars, PA. How cool is that people now recognize Mars, PA?
Yeah, it's sweet. Thankfully, I'm still nowhere close to being like the biggest athlete out of Mars, Pennsylvania. We have a couple guys, and especially one, David Bednar, who's the closer for the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is pretty cool. So hopefully I can work up to that rank one day, but it's cool. Yeah, Mars has been getting put on the map. And for anyone wondering, we are the Fighting Planets. That's our mascot.
As you should be.
Yep.
And that's how we're going to end it. There you go. A little trivia, a little knowledge for you. Hags, JJ, thanks so much for joining me. Good luck. Open up next week at Stetson. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Encova Insurance.